Hello, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of For All Things Lexington, the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina, and where a spade is always called a spade. Here, we'll talk to and about people, places, groups, things to do, and places to go in and around Lexington, South Carolina. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.
Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for being with us today and taking time out of your very busy day. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Listen, you are Kramer Pest Control, and now that's a fairly new company to the Lexington area.
It's very new to the Lexington and Columbia area, but they were out of Fort Mill for 23 years and still going strong, and I ended up becoming a partner and opening the branch here in the Lexington area.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. So your title there, obviously partner, but what would
It's managing partner.
Managing partner. Gotcha. And you just recently even got into a new facility and office, right?
We did over there off St. Andrews Road. It's in Surrey Court, 20 Surrey Court, but it's actually very exciting. Me and the guys have been working without an office for over 10 months.
Oh, my.
We just got a new office, so it is very exciting. The good thing is my guys are experienced and we're able to just pull it off without meeting every day. And we don't have to meet every day now, but it is nice to have a place we call home,
right?
With our home office.
Right. Now, so a day as a managing partner, what does that look like for you?
So it's a little crazy. So when I was with Clark's, but the thing is, it's just exactly the same as it was when I started with Clark's because we were small, family-owned company. So I had all kind of titles. I was a manager, right, salesman. I went and did after hours. Even when I was just a technician, I was a regular pest control technician at Clark's starting out. And I would go and not really get paid for it, but I'd do after-hour events,
sure,
go try and do stuff with real estate agents.
Sure.
Do stuff, just a little bit of everything to get the name out there. And basically that's what I'm doing now. I manage, I do have a manager managing the guys, but I still have, check in on them, make sure everything's good. I'm making sales, fielding calls. So the office phone leaks over into my phone when the girl, because I only have 2 girls in the office. I have 6 employees, technicians, and 2 girls in the office. And they're on the phone a lot. And
sure.
And it's hard to capture. You know how it is.
Sure.
When you get someone to finally call you, they finally made the step to call you. You want to make sure you answer that phone.
Sure.
And when the girls are on the phone in there, it just goes to a voicemail. So I have it where it ends up coming to my phone so that I can answer it. So I try not to let anybody go through a voicemail because I'm trying to capture them. That's how you grow your business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so that's really your role now at Kramer is to help grow this area, your business, because that business has a lot of different areas that they do as far as, one, they do regular normal routines, and then you have, I think, new builds that you're doing with and working with the builders and getting new builds ready.
That's correct. We specialize in new construction. So when the builders build the house, they obviously they're building it up, right?
Right.
There has to have some termite company that comes and does a pre-treat, what they call a termite pre-treat. When they build a house, you can either do it before it's built, or you can do it with a Centricon baiting system after. A lot of the builders are going with the Centricon bait system after because it doesn't mess with any of their schedule.
Right.
They put in the landscape, and we come in and put in the bait stations. We give their 99 A and B forms for closing for their lender, and the new homeowner moves in with a bond already. Then they have to once the year's up, the homeowner will have to renew it
Right.
every year. But we definitely specialize in new construction, normal routine pest control, mosquito services. I have 2 guys that are experienced in wildlife removal, prevention, exclusions, bats. I mean, it's anything. It takes a certain type of person to be able to get a call and say, I've got a snake in my house, and you just go in there and get that sucker out of it.
Right.
So that wouldn't be me.
Right.
I don't know if it would be you.
No,
but it's definitely not me. But I have 2 guys that are specialized in that. A few other services we have is bed bugs. We can check into moisture control, vapor barriers. Got a guy helping me with French drains. We actually have a company that's partners with Kramer. It's called Carolina Taskmasters. So go do a CO 100 inspection, find a bathroom rotted out in the bottom, or door jams that need to be replaced. And that's 99% of the house you go to, you're going to have that problem.
Right. And so for people who don't know what a CL 100 is, that's when someone is buying a home. It would be a resale. It was somebody else's home. They're buying a home, and they have to have an inspection. And these guys come out and make sure there's no termite problems, there's no moisture problems, things of that nature. So just to explain CL 100.
Sure. And it's a great question, because a lot of people think, I'm getting a home inspection done and all that. It's not a home inspection. It's CO 100 by law. So we are regulated by Clemson University, which is great because we don't need chemicals and stuff going everywhere. But to get back on topic, a CO 100, we send the guy over to the house. Like you said, it's for a resale. So it's mainly for the buyer. So we want to get it checked out, make sure there's no termite damage, no water damage, no moisture. But one thing you got to keep in mind, for a CO 100, it deals with the first main floor and below.
Right.
So we're not looking at the window seals up above, the fascia, because we get questions all the time. Hey, how come you didn't mark this water damage that the home inspector marked at the ceiling? We deal with the first main floor. So the door jambs touch the first main floor. So we're looking at anything around the outside and underneath the house. Now will go check in the attic just to see, look around. I know I said first main floor, but it is good to at least give it a check.
Right.
But the home inspector goes in there as well. So yeah, pretty much every house, unless it's been bought with cash, is required. The lender requires you to do the CO 100 inspection.
Right. Now, explain the importance of keeping a termite bond, and they still call it bond, right?
We don't like to use that.
Right.
It's the most known term for homeowners and all that is termite bond. It's a termite contract.
Right.
It's just legal jargon.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything.
You don't see the word bond very much anymore. So that's why I asked. It is still a common term used, but I don't think it's the politically correct term
Not
these
for the termite
days.
company. Is,
a contract.
That's correct. But it's funny, because I don't know if you looked at Facebook yesterday when you get a chance, take a look at it. I posted something last night. I was messing around in the yard. I had some old cut up logs that we were going to use for firewood.
Right.
Never ended up cutting them all the way up. They'd just been sitting in the yard for a while. I said, it's time to get them out of here. They got waterlogged.
Sure.
So here I am, the bug man. I moved this log, and sure enough, guess what's in there?
Right.
All right there's termites. And I'm like, it was dumb, because I tell all of my clients and customers that do not keep stored wood, firewood, or anything near the house. Now, I didn't have it near the house, but, it was good 50 foot away from the house, but it still attracted the termites. So we just want to keep it off the ground. It's one thing to keep. But to get back on, I can ramble a lot, but the termite bond is super important.
Right.
First of all, if you've got a crawl space, most homeowners aren't putting a little suit on and going up under the house and checking stuff. So once a year, this is like a peace of mind thing. Once a year, we go in there and look for termites. We're not responsible for water, but what we do a good job of is while we're under there, checking for termites, looking for them, because we got to check every little piece of the underneath of the house.
Right.
We're checking the drain pipes, the water pipes from your kitchen, and we look, and we've saved homeowners thousands of dollars by saying, oh, no, you got a small little leak in your tub right now.
Right.
Oh, you got a small leak in your sink. Your toilet, the wax seal goes out all the time on houses. No, who knows how long they last, but we save people money by a couple $100 a year, $250 a year.
Right.
We come inspect the house once a year, check for termites. If there are termites, we have to treat them. No extra cost to you because you have the contract.
Right.
And if there's damage, we have to fix it. So a termite line, a couple $100 a year is well worth it in my opinion.
And because if you have to replace like seals and joists, you're talking lots and lots of money. So it is worth it to keep that termite bond so that you're not having to replace major items. I mean, structural.
It's structural.
Yes.
And when you start getting into that, you're talking, when you talk about seals and joists, you have to you're not scabbing stuff on or cutting it out in the middle. You got to go from one side to the other. So you're already talking 6 to 10 foot minimum. And then it's like $200, at high price, $200 a foot.
Right.
So you getting into 10, 20, 30
you
foot.
have to lift the house or not.
If you got to put jacks underneath it.
Whole nother ball game.
So, $250 a year to have that coverage and a peace of mind, and somebody going under your house once a year just to check things out, I highly suggest.
And people that are on a slab sometimes don't think they need it, but they do.
That's a great question. I get this all the time. Termites can't eat through concrete. You get this. I said, okay, well, you're right. They can't eat through concrete. But what concrete do you know that doesn't ever crack? Go to your driveway.
Right.
Go to the asphalt. Why do they have to repave roads all the time? It's just constant. Termites need an 1/8 of an inch crack to get up into your house.
Right.
So I can guarantee you, and we don't want to call your house out. We'll just say mine. You pull up the flooring in your house somewhere.
Right.
I guarantee you there's a crack somewhere because it settles. I mean, it's natural. The erosion of the soil, the water, all that.
Right.
It moves. So you get a little crack, termites come up, and that's how they get into a slab. And you don't know it until you either find damage or they do a termite swarm. And I don't know if you've ever seen a termite swarm before, but you'll see thousands. You'll think your house is crumbling to the ground, which is not. But thousands of termites that swarm every year during the spring. And that lets you know, thank goodness they do it, because it lets you know that there's a colony there and you can take care of it at that time.
And is it swarm season now, or are we just...
It's actually still swarm season.
Yeah.
It started... Okay, so it really depends on the weather. Mm-hmm. In February, it was 80 degrees. Do you remember that?
Yes.
80 degrees.
Crazy.
And then it got down to like 40. And then it get back up to 70.
Right.
And that triggers it.
Okay.
So you got rain, and then that temperature that I just told you, and that could go from February to June, really, because it's still it got cold, 40s, 50s last night.
Right.
It's cool out there right now.
Cool. Yeah, it is.
It's still swarm season. That's what it's the weather that triggers them.
Yeah. And now y'all have different services, different levels of services. Let's just say, I want mosquito, and I want ant, and I want obviously the termite. So you've got a level for that, but there's all different kinds of levels that people could get services for.
Well, we bundle our packages. We do a la carte. You can just have your basic termite control and nothing else.
Right.
Some people just think they can't afford termite service. Well, it's actually very affordable. But to save a little money, a lot of people get pest control done on a regular quarterly basis.
Right.
And so we can combine the termite and pest together. We have a package that combines termite, pest, mosquito. We have a package that combines termite, pest, mosquito, fire ants. And all that's guaranteed. All of our services are guaranteed.
Right.
If I came and sprayed your house today for pest control, 3 weeks later there was ants on your counter.
Right.
We come back for free to take care of that issue. So $75 to $85 a quarter for pest control, guaranteed. And if we have to come back 10 times a year, hopefully we don't.
Yeah, right.
But it's a guaranteed service.
Right. And the mosquito service. Some people go, mosquito service, but they haven't lived in the South Carolina very long if they don't know we need mosquito services, especially like around water, the lake or the river or anywhere. But especially around those water areas.
Well, I'll tell you what happens is, and you're absolutely correct, water is what drives mosquitoes.
Right.
And what I'm bringing up now is that people keep stuff around their house all the time. Oh, I like to keep this little pot right here for my birds, or this whatever.
Right.
And it collects water. Well, mosquitoes can lay their eggs on a dewdrop on your lawn.
Right.
So anything that you have that keeps moisture around or a little bit of standing water, mosquitoes lay the eggs in it, and when it gets above 70 degrees, they hatch. And they can live all year round and then hatch when it's 70 degrees. So since I'm honest, the mosquito service works really well. I get it done at my house. Am I going to eliminate 100% of the mosquitoes? No. Absolutely not.
In South Carolina.
No, but you will be able to enjoy your backyard, or at least whatever you like doing in the yard by getting the service done.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. You were born and raised here in Lexington?
And I was born in West Columbia.
West Columbia.
Yep, it was Lexington County. But I've been associated with Lexington pretty much my whole life.
And you live here now on Lake Murray.
That's correct.
Right. And which is fitting since you love to fish.
I absolutely love to fish.
All right. So, did you have any part of the Bassmaster Elite this past weekend?
I did not. I did get a phone call. Scott Martin, one of the professional fishermen, his camera boat went down. I did get a phone call to drive that around, but I just had, with this new business and all that stuff, I just had so much going on. But it was an absolute awesome tournament. Those guys are unbelievable. They care about kids. They put on a little kids clinic.
Right. I think my nephew participated in that.
It's just a great event. It brings a lot of people here, and people just, there's a lot of people that want to fish that just can't fish, or they just can't catch a fish.
Right.
These guys come in and make it look like it's simple. And I'm a tournament fisherman. I fish a tournament almost every weekend. I'm much more local level. It's not the pros. You're not going to see me on TV.
Right.
But I am very competitive. And, it's just really cool to see what really takes place on one of those things. That guy won $100,000.
Wow.
He got this huge trophy. And when you win one, you get sponsors, and they give you a new boat every year.
Yeah, nice.
So now he's really
maybe I need to take up
Drew Benton. Yeah, Drew Benton, who won it, is set for a little while now.
Yeah,
for winning that tournament. Now they're at Santee.
So
wow! They went from here to Santee this week, so they start Thursday now.
So now, when you're out on Lake Murray fishing, what are you fishing for in Lake Murray? It's
largemouth bass, the same of what the guys were fishing yesterday. But there's all kinds of species in Lake Murray. Everybody like going to the brim, is bass, striper, catfish. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm mainly catching largemouth bass, but at the same time, all the areas that I fish, there's stripers. I'm talking big, huge stripers. I've got my little bass rod with light line, and then all of a sudden I get a striper hits it, and this strip and drag, and I'm falling around. So it's a fun place. The fishery right now at Lake Murray is one of the top notch. If you go back and watch that tournament from this weekend, all the broadcasters, everybody are commenting on what a great fishery Lake Murray is now. So it's unbelievable.
Now, does your wife Heather, does she fish?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I know she gets a little mad at me because I'm gone all the time, but I do try and take time to take her out there on a Sunday or a weekday. We'll go out there during the week. Nobody's on the lake, really.
Sure, yeah.
It's the best time to go.
Right.
And we'll go to the same stuff that I fish and tournaments and stuff and catch. She's happy with a little brim, but I take her out there and catch this big striper and stuff too. It is. You can tell her face lights up. She absolutely loves it.
Well, that's good. Now, what about your girls?
My girls, one is artistic.
Yes.
And, you know, the artistic ones are just kind of, I hate to say it, but they're a little lazy. Very, you know, the mind is just, it's unreal on how artistic they are, and they can make she can go out in the yard and find something, make a bow and arrow. So they're super talented.
Right.
But the oldest doesn't like fishing as much. The youngest, she likes to go with me. She has since she was about 5. We go to hunting club and fish ponds. I'll take her out on the boat. You know, now it's boys. You know?
Sure.
But any chance she does get, she will ask, Dad, can we go fishing tomorrow? So we do.
Well, that's good.
We go a decent amount.
That's good. Mm-hmm. And now you're a big hunter.
That's correct.
And so deer, turkey, the whole.
It really doesn't matter. So if you were to have an interview with my wife, which you probably have
maybe I need to bring her.
We'll probably go on for about 2 hours on how hunting season's in all year round. And so is fishing season. And so, you know, I am very fortunate and lucky to have a wife that does let me do all the stuff that I enjoy. Right now it is turkey season.
Yeah.
Deer season comes back in August or September. I mean, then it's duck season, and then it's rabbit season, and it's all kinds of seasons.
Right.
So if you are a hunter, there's plenty of things to do.
That's right. So a quick fishing story. My son was about 3 years old, and I don't remember exactly where my husband was taking him to go fish, but they had I don't know if it was worms, crickets. I don't know what they were using, but they got down to wherever they were, and James is getting ready to help Austin put whatever on the hook. And my son, looks at James and says, "No, I want the full of fish." And James went, "What? You want what?" He said, "I want the full of fish." And he says, "Well, son, what's a full of fish?" He opens the tackle box and pulls out one of those plastic, whatever, bait lures. He said, "Well, son, we'll put this on here, but it won't catch anything." Threw it in there, and in seconds, caught him a brim about like that. And he said, "Dad, I told you a full of fish would work."
That's pretty
I guess
funny.
it's because it's not real, so it's fooling the fish.
That's a great
So that's the
name.
full of fish story. That's my only real fish story. So now you wear a lot of other hats. I think there are and I know there are a lot of charities, a lot of committees that you serve on. Tell us about the committees that you work with.
Well, I work with Special Olympics. I have for a long time. That was probably the closest one to my heart. And I enjoy all of them. I enjoy helping. I put a lot of time, community service, and helping the community out. I ran for LLS, Man, Woman of the Year several years ago. So we raised money for leukemia and lymphoma.
And now you won Man of the Year that year, right?
I did.
2021. And that was during COVID. That could not have been easy.
It's not easy, no matter how you look at it, because it's a 10-week campaign.
Right.
And right now, I am on Russ Horton's team. I actually got him to sign up. Russ is a mortgage lender. I don't know if you know him or not, but he is running. The 10 weeks is almost up. May 5th is the last day. But it's something they do every year. And I ended up running 2021. What you do is you put a team together that, it really worked out great. So I've been helping the community out for a long time. Right. And, they always call on me, this. Well, guess what? It was time to call on everybody else. And it's called on me. But that's what a partnership and a relationship is about. Right. Is give and take. And when it was my turn, everybody helped me out. So we ended up raising $105,000 for leukemia and lymphoma in 2021. And the next closest was $50,000. So we beat them by $50,000, which is great. Unbelievable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And now let's see, Camp Chemo. I do a lot for Camp Chemo and Camp Cole. The cool thing about Camp Cole is every year Camp Chemo used to have to go to 2.5 hours away from their camp. So the kids enjoy that 1 week of camp every year, and they just love it to death. They go kayaking and everything you can possibly imagine when you go on a big little retreat. Well, Camp Cole, they did an unbelievable job of raising money. The camp is now here. So all the therapeutic horseback riding. So it's not just for Camp Chemo. It's for all the special needs stuff. So they don't have to travel 2.5 hours away. It's all right here.
That's fantastic.
Right off Garners Ferry Road. They bought the land. The Sawyers bought the land and raised a bunch of money. They got cottages where the kids stay. They got ponds. I mean, it's just an unbelievable experience for these kids that really, if you think about it, just don't get to do it that often.
Right.
And so I really poured heart and soul in the last 5 years into Camp Cole and Camp Chemo because it gave the kids a place to go to camp close.
Yeah, and that's a great organization, great charity. And I think this past year there was somebody who organized in our neighborhood a run, and it was for Camp Cole. There was a huge turnout. I mean, not just people in the neighborhood. I mean, people from other just came to run for that.
For a great cause.
For a great cause, absolutely. So I saw on your Facebook page, do explain what Poor Wars is. What is that?
So I'm on the committee of Sales and Marketing Council. I'm big in the BIA. As a matter of fact, in 2 years, I'm the secretary of the BIA, which is the Building Industry Association. Well, it used to be called the HBA, Home Builders Association.
Right.
We changed it to the BIA because we didn't want it to make it sound like it was just for builders.
Right.
It's for all vendors, termite, pests, heating and air, insulation, and builders all come together as one association for the greater good. Well, Poor Wars is an event that is put on by the Sales and Marketing Council of the BIA, which I'm also on that committee. And
you're gonna have to learn how to say no.
I know. I think I'm going to get better at this.
We'll practice when we finish.
Evidently, I definitely need to practice it. But Poor Wars, we pick a charity that we want to raise. It's not just one charity. We try and help all kinds of charities.
Sure.
And what it is you get kind of like, I want to say, it's not really local celebrities, but it's somebody in the industry that's pretty well known, that knows they can get some people out to raise some money.
Right.
So you pin them up against each other where, okay, let's just say the marketing girl for Great Southern Homes, the marketing girl for Stanley Martin Homes, and for, 15, 20 minutes, they go out there. They're the bartenders. They get behind the bar at Tin Roof. And of course, obviously Tin Roof has their own bartenders, but they stand up there and help them while, the marketing girls are like trying to get tips. And they have big tip jars out there, and you're making and doing all kind of drinks and stuff, and it's just raising money we raise money for Homeless No More, to help their organization out, and it's something different every single year. It's just a neat thing. A lot of people come out.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It's an unbelievable. They had a DJ there. It was just every year. It's probably one of the most the best events that I'm a part of with the association because it's an event going on every month.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I'm the chairman of the BIA fishing tournament, and that's May 5th. That's the next tournament. So
Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, but it's only it's on a Friday.
Right.
Cinco de Mayo. So
that's right. Now, as I was trolling through your Facebook, I saw where you and your wife were, Heather, were at some gala, and it looked like y'all were dressed up. I'm going to say Bonnie and Clyde kind of costume, but so what was this?
So this was a masquerade ball, and it was for LLS. So when I ran for Man Woman of the Year, I did 2 events, and I raised $80,000.
Wow!
At those 2 events, and the rest was done, online, marketing and stuff like that. Well, Russ Horton, I got him to run for Man of the Year this year, and I'm on his team. He was asking for ideas, and I said, I could put you on a golf tournament. I could do this. Well, they decided to go with something different, something that people might, say, oh, what's this? Let me try this. So
it did grab your attention.
It did.
Yeah.
So masquerade ball, for LLS, we did not the 20s prohibition.
Yeah.
And me and my wife dressed up as gangsters for back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool to see everybody, because you had your flapper dresses that dressed up like that. You had your gangsters, just whatever outfit that piqued your interest.
And so did they end up raising a lot of money that night?
They did.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. I think I want to say probably around 30,000 that night.
Wow. That's great.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, you do wear a lot of hats, and you do a lot for our community, and you do a lot for the charities. And I'll just have to say, thank you. We certainly appreciate it. And thank you for being here today. I do have one other question. I want to know what your favorite restaurant is in Lexington.
I have to say it's private property. I really enjoy. It's kind of like it's a well-known restaurant now, but I had never heard of it. And I was just asking around because I wanted to try something different.
Right.
We always go to our main restaurants. It's always good to get out and try different ones. And I had somebody suggest private property. Went out there. I just had a great experience. The food was great. So that's what I suggest. If you haven't been, I would definitely try private property.
They have is it Gator Bites?
Yes.
They have Gator Bites, and they have I think it's it's a burger, and it's very spicy. So spicy that James loves it. He eats it every time. But I kid you not, he leaves there and he's crying and his nose is running and he's sweating. I'm like, why did you do that? You are no longer very cute because you're just sweating and crying. But yeah, he does love whatever the spicy burger. And I've had, I guess it's the Creole. That's really good too. So is there a hidden gem in Lexington that a lot of people don't know about that you think they need to know about?
I have to be honest. I looked down. I personally can't come up with one. One that you?
Well, I just think one area that I think that we have the winery. It's not a big winery, but it's very quaint out there. And that would be one that I could think of. And then there's a trail. It's called Peachtree Rock. Peachtree Rock. A lot of people don't know about that either. And I frankly haven't even been out there. And I've been in Lexington how many years? Longer than we're going to talk about. But those just, it's kind of out that way, going towards Shore Road, towards the Gilbert area. But yeah, those would be the ones that I can think of that a lot of people don't even know. And again, I haven't even been to the because you can walk that trail out there, and I haven't even been.
And plus, if you get a chance to get out on a boat, rent a boat, know a friend that has a boat. If you go out in the summer, I know you've probably been around Baum Island when they have all the birds that come out. That's a neat little
purple martins.
Yeah, purple martins. It's just unbelievable how many birds actually come to that area during the summer. It's just, I think it's a pretty neat thing to get out on the water and check out one evening.
And there's a lot of places you can rent boats.
That's correct.
And then I think Winkard still does the tour out to the Purple Martins during that time of year, I think.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, I think.
Winger's Nursery?
Yes. I thought that was a nice little addition to whatever they were doing.
They got all kind of stuff going on.
I know. Well, I want to thank you again for being here today. It was a pleasure talking with you, and thanks for all that you do for the Lexington and all of us.
Well, I definitely appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on our show or have a person, business, charity, organization, idea, or an event that Lexington needs to know more about, email us local@forallthingslexington.com. That's local@4allthingslexington.com.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.